What's going on, guys? Anthony with Simple Tech Talk here, where I help you get the most out of your Android device. And today we're going to talk about the first 5 things you should do with your new S10 or S10 Plus to really get the most incredible experience out of your device. Check it out. Okay, cool, guys. So first things first, even if you're not the most savvy tech person, you definitely want your phone to be the most optimized for you, right? Meaning you want it to do exactly what you want it to do when you want it to do it, right? You don't want to be that guy or gal who's out there trying to figure it out and get a little frustrated with your phone. You want it to make sure that it's working as efficiently as possible for you. And that's what these first 5 things, these 5 setting changes are in this video that's going to help you out, all right? And those 5 setting changes are going to be really simple. The first one is called Quick Open Notification Panel. Now I know that's a mouthful, but I promise it's easier than it sounds. Number 2 is your brightness bar. Number 3 is organizing your quick toggles. Number 4 is your navigation bar. And 5 is going to be utilizing and setting up your app's edge or your edge panels, okay? So getting right into it, number 1, we're going to be talking about the Quick Open Notification Panel. And the first thing I want to do is get the phone up and running so you can see the settings along as I make the changes right here on my phone as well, okay? So first thing we're going to do is I wanted to talk to you about the open notification panel, the quick open, right? So when you swipe up, you're getting your apps. You swipe down, you're getting your apps. Now by default, this is how the Samsung phones come out of the box. In my opinion, it should be a little bit different. The phone is a little bit larger, so if you ever get a text message or a notification of some sort and you want to check it out, you have to hold the phone with 2 hands in order to swipe down. Otherwise, you're doing like this odd gesture thing and you don't want to drop the phone, right? Maybe you're holding a cold drink, you don't want to drop that either. So what we do here is we're going to swipe down and we're going to go into the settings. We're going to go right over to display. And in display, you're going to swipe a little bit down. You're going to see home screen. Select that. And then when in home screen, swipe down a little bit more and you're going to go to Quick Open Notification Panel. Once again, sounds like a mouthful, but it really isn't. Now we've turned it on. All we're doing is going back to our home screen. And again, we swipe up for our apps, but watch this one-handed gesture to swipe down and get your notification panel. Really simple. This is something I believe should be inherent in the device right out of the box, but it's not, so this is why I'm here showing you this. So again, you swipe down. What's really nice is you swipe down again and you can expand on your quick toggles, which leads me into my second tip for the day. Quick toggles and setting them up, and why. So all your quick toggles do is give you access to on and offs of different types of settings within your phone. So you don't have to dive into the settings a little bit more deeper. So things like your Wi-Fi, right? So you press and hold, it'll actually open up your Wi-Fi panel. You don't have to take each step to go into it. So again, you swipe down, you can go right into many of these that have like a hidden kind of setting behind it once you press and hold on it. But organizing it is what we really wanted to talk about. So the 3 dots on the top right, if you touch on those guys, you can hit button order and you can actually change the organization of these guys. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out is when you're in that first time swipe, you're 6 icons across. When you swipe down again, you're gonna have 4x3 layout. You could change that layout, but I think this is actually very efficient right out of the box, so I wouldn't change that. But let's change our button order. So certain things to me stand out that I never will use. Things like auto rotate. That's when you rotate your phone to be landscape or portrait. I will always allow that. So I'm not gonna worry about turning it on and off, and I wanna get that out of the way. So I'm gonna press and hold, and I'm going to navigate it over to a secondary page that I'm not really using. And I'm gonna keep in mind that when the phone is first swiped down, I'm gonna have 6 across. So I like keeping my flashlight at the first right option. Another option that's here that I'm not gonna take advantage of is power mode. Honestly, the Samsung's all-day battery is really good. I don't need to worry about power mode and trying to save battery life because there's certain tricks in there that will allow you to do that. One of which is actually night mode. So I'm actually gonna grab night mode and I'm gonna bring it over to that first page and put it in the 5th slot. And I'll go into that in a moment. Airplane mode, I wanna get rid of. So I'm gonna move that away. And I'm actually gonna add one of my favorite ones. It's called Kids Home, also known as Kids Mode. So I'm gonna put kids mode there as well. Why, you ask? This is actually something that's really helpful for some parents that give their kids their device in any given situation, and their kids cannot access other portions of the phone and ruin that. And if you're really interested in more, learning more about that, please let me know in the comments below, and I would love to make a video about that. As a parent, I find that to be the most useful thing that Samsung has ever put on their devices, and I would love to go in a detailed review on that for you if you guys are interested, so let me know. So going forward, we're gonna hit done. And I mentioned before about night mode, so I'm gonna tell you about night mode real quick. When you touch on night mode, it's actually gonna turn your entire panel black. Not only that, it's gonna turn every other aspect of the UI completely black. So your dialer, your text messages, even your keyboard layout is gonna turn black. And just like we were in a moment ago, your settings. This is a really cool feature for two reasons. One, if you're that guy or gal who's in a movie theater and you have to use your phone, unfortunately, having it in night mode won't shoot out that bright white light, you know, and disrupting other moviegoers. You would be able to, you know, answer your text message, whatever it may be, without having to be a disruptive person. On the other end, like I mentioned before, it helps save battery. And how does it do that? Is because when you're in night mode or not in night mode, your pixel background, your background, all those pixels are turned on. So if I turn it on right now, everything that's imaged white, it's on. Those pixels are turned on using battery life, okay? When you do this, because we're using a Super AMOLED display, these pixels are actually turned off, and that's why you get a true black, and that's why the contrast is so good on these phones. So this is actually saving battery life while using it. The majority of the time, my personal phone, my daily driver is a Note 9, and I use night mode constantly, or I'm theming my phone in all black, so that way I'm saving battery life while working with it. So just to keep that in mind for you guys, okay? So exiting out of night mode, just so to kind of show you, this is also one of those apps that has a hidden menu. You can check out whether it's night or day. You can actually turn it on as a schedule, turn it on now, and again, being more efficient for you. So that's the whole purpose of this video. So getting back to the other tips that we mentioned before, we just talked about your quick toggles, is your brightness bar. This is another battery saver. So you can slide left and right to adjust your brightness, but what I like is the fact that you get the option to show the control on top. So we just turn that on, and now watch this. The first time you swipe down, now it's up there, making it easier to access. It's not a hidden menu somewhere. You're not trying to figure it all out while you're using the phone. It's right there in your face when you need it. So again, we can go into this night mode, and if we need to lower the brightness, we can, and we will. Love those features. Seriously, super simple. The next one is one of my personal favorites, is your navigation bar. Now, most people don't know about navigation bar. What is that? And those who do also would know that in previous iterations of Android besides Samsung, these two buttons are actually flip-flopped. So your navigation bar consists of multitask, home, and back button. On other Android devices, the multitask and back are flip-flopped. And I'll explain that to you with the settings. So we're gonna go into settings, go to display. You're gonna go down to navigation bar. Now here it's explaining some of what I just discussed. You can actually reverse the button order if you'd like. But my favorite thing is to go into full gestures. You can see the animation here. It's telling you to swipe up where the buttons would be. So now we turn it off, and those buttons disappear, and we can actually turn on the little hint, so you see a little line. So it's really nice. You swipe up once to go back, swipe one up in the middle to go back home, if you will, and swipe on the left for multitask, bringing you back to where you were. Now, I know where those buttons are. They're not gonna move, they're not gonna motion, they're not gonna switch themselves, so I turn off those hints, and they go away, leaving my home screen with a clean look. And again, being nice and efficient. What's really cool about this is that no one knows how to operate your phone. So if you leave your phone around and somebody grabs it, they actually don't know how to get around your phone, because you've just taken away some of the obviousness to it. Love that, right? Customization at its finest. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is using the edge. Now, I don't want to go too deep into this. I just wanted to touch on it, just kind of go on the basics about it. But your edge is actually going to be built right into the side. And you can get some options in your edge. Some of them I've added, some of these little ones that I've added are really cool, but the basics of it is you go into that settings button on the bottom left, and you'll see you have all these edge assets that you can add. And again, we'll go into that on another video. But if we go into the top 3 buttons, this is what I want to teach you guys. Edge panel handle. You can adjust the transparency. So there goes my bar. You can actually change the color of that bar. You can move up or down where that bar is going to be. If you're left or right-handed, you can move it onto either side of the screen. I personally am right-handed. And I kind of understand my usual gesture of my thumb is going to be in this area. And again, keeping that home screen clean, I like to get rid of it completely with the transparency bar and make sure the size is as large as possible. And back out, and oops, let's go back home. And now see, it's not there visually speaking, but it is there when we talk about the UI. It's actually going to be there every single time, and you can take full advantage of this. The one thing I'll go a little bit in depth on is taking advantage of the apps. So my home screen looks like this, and all my home designs on my screens, on my phones, never have more than one page. It's only one page and a nice solid photo, and I have all my apps within my edge. That's how I take full advantage. So we can do things like add another app. So we can just choose, let's say, let's see if we have anything cool that we can add. I'm not sure, it doesn't matter honestly at this point. So we can grab my files and we can put it in its own little spot. Or we can grab the app and pair it up and make a folder. We can enter the folder name. You know, we can do that. We can even color coordinate the box if that's what we want. So now that's what happens there. It's pretty cool. One of my favorite features is app pair. So let's say we do it here. We can create a shortcut. We can create an app pair. So let's say we wanted to launch our calculator and let's see, Samsung Notes. So we can do that together, not calculator, calendar and Samsung Notes. So if we want to look at our calendar and take some notes about, well, how we're going to be busy or not, those types of things, that's how I would go into it. So that way, at this point, I'm going to be able to take my notes on what calendar days I'm available, whatever it may be, right? For me personally, I'm a big YouTube guy, hey, and I'm gonna watch some videos while I'm continuing some text message conversations. So I have those set to launch at the same time. Really, really solid kind of way of getting around these phones nowadays. So taking full advantage of that edge, I'm gonna be talking about that in another video. I just wanted to touch on the basics of the app's edge and kind of getting you guys started with that, okay? Really appreciate, some comments. Let me know what you like, what you dislike. If you really want me to do another video idea, it might get featured. So again, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great one. Peace. All right, guys, thank you very much for spending your time with me on the channel. Any questions you have or any advice you need, please don't forget to put them in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. And you never know, your question might be answered in the form of a featured video here on the channel. So if you like my content, subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you can be notified when I put up a new video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.